Hello friends, welcome to Words in Stars. I'm Eleanor and this is my second video. In today's video I'm going to be taking you through my Make Your Myth Taker TBR. If you haven't heard of Make Your Myth Taker, it is hosted by Myth Take Reads on Bookstagram. The co-owners are Ashleigh at A Frolic Through Fiction and Charlotte at Bookmarks and Vlogging. I'll link both their YouTube channels down below so you can check out their announcement videos. I'm being quite ambitious with this TBR because I have a lot of time on my hands at the moment. The lockdown in the UK is still in place and I've just finished my last essay for the university year, so I can now spend a lot of my time reading, which I'm really excited for. As you will see in this video, I've created a little character for myself and a little story to go with that character, which will take you through the different prompts that I'm using for the books that I've chosen for this month. This is the character that I aim to end up as, but I also have 8 books to read in the month, so I'm not sure if we'll get this far. But if you would like to see how my character begins from their roots and ends up as this, then make sure to keep watching. My character comes from a backwater dreary town where the highest paid job is a mercenary. So I begin my training in the hopes of earning enough money to support my family. The first character path I'm following, as you can tell, is mercenary, and the first prompt for that is anticipated read. So for this prompt I've chosen The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. This has been on my radar for a while and I got it for Christmas or my birthday just gone, so it's been staring at me for a little while and it's something that I'm really excited to read. I love Greek mythology and I love myth retellings, which is why I'm taking part in Make Your Myth Taker, and I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so I'm really excited to finally get this read. I always find that Greek mythology reads work really well for me when it's sunny and warm because I like to sit outside when I read them. So I can pretty much guarantee this is going to get devoured if the weather stays as nice as it is today. The second prompt for Mercenary is Book with a Weapon on the Cover, and for that I have chosen Dreams and Shadows by C. Robert Cargill. I have to admit I'm being a little bit lenient with myself with this one because I originally wanted to use Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff as the book for this prompt. However, as I've pre-ordered it, the publication date for the paperback is the 11th of June, and with the current pandemic, I'm not convinced that it will get here on the 11th or 12th. I'm a bit worried it's going to take a week or so to arrive, so I've kind of swapped around my choices for that. For the weapon on this cover, there's a cane, and some of the beings on here are essentially weapons in themselves. They have like claws and vicious teeth. It's a little bit weak, and I will admit that, but I'm going with it anyway because, like I said, Dark Dawn would have been used, but coronavirus crisis means I'm being a little bit nice to myself, okay? Dreams and Shadows is about fairies in the more traditional sense, so they're evil. It's a little bit different to the other kind of fae novels I read. I have read this before, but I'm rereading it because I will be using the second novel, which I haven't yet read, later in the month. I need to refresh myself on the story of this one first. This tells the story of a changeling and the human that it replaced, and we see both the characters grow up and develop in their different worlds, being the wrong being in the wrong world. From what I remember, it's a really fascinating read and I loved it the first time around, so I'm expecting to read it quite quickly the second time around as well. My mercenary career is going quite well and I'm earning a decent amount of money, which my less than ideal father likes to keep for himself rather than looking after our house and my siblings. However, upon his death, my mother's lineage is revealed, something he had kept secret from myself and my siblings our entire lives. My mother comes from a long line of strong witches, and I am told that I might have some of her power. So I decide to move away to the city and join the magic school where I train to become a witch. I reach magic school, and to prove that I have successfully completed my training, I must defeat the elders in a magic battle. So as you can tell, I have chosen to switch from the mercenary path to the witch path on the prompt magic battle, which allows your character to change. So I've decided that my character deserves to learn some new skills and get down that magical route. So for magic battle, I have decided to read Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. As I mentioned before, this is a highly anticipated read for me, and would have been my weapon on the cover, but I can't guarantee that it's going to be here in time. And I'm also unsure of whether there is actually a magic battle in Dark Dawn. However, Mia's a little bit magic and it's the finale, so I'm kind of assuming that something magical-ish is going to go down. Obviously I don't want to spoil the book for myself, so I can't really look it up, so we're just gonna go with that and hope for the best. If you don't know already, Dark Dawn is the finale of J. Kristoff's Nevernight trilogy. Nevernight follows the story of Mia Corvair, who trains to be an assassin as a way of getting revenge on the people that killed her family. I talk a little bit more about the series in my previous video, my favourite reads 2020 so far, so go and check that out if you haven't watched that already. The final prompt in the Witch category is occult themes, and for this I have decided to read The Pale Dreamer by Samantha Shannon. I adore the Bone Season series already, but I just haven't read The Pale Dreamer yet. I managed to find it on Google Books for a pretty good price, so I thought it was about time that I finally read the prequel. The story follows Paige Mahoney, who is the main character of the Bone Season series. She's a clairvoyant along with a lot of her friends, so this I think is the perfect fit for this prompt. I love Samantha Shannon's writing, and even though I don't know much about what happens in The Pale Dreamer, I trust her and I trust the Bone Season series to give me another amazing read. This is quite a short read, so I'm giving myself a bit of an advantage here because, as you will see, there are a lot of books in this video, so I thought if I read a bit of a shorter book, I have a chance of actually finishing my character's story. I successfully finished my training, and on my graduation I am sent to a faraway kingdom to become the royal family's very own court witch. The role there is to help them with any magical beasts that are causing trouble and ensure that the population is kept at peace. However, after a few weeks there, I realised that the royal family is corrupt and decided to join the local rebel group to help bring them down. Now, during my time in the kingdom, I make some pretty good friends with the rebels as well as the citizens of the kingdom itself, and upon our successful raid on the royal family, we remove them from the throne and the citizens decide that they want me as their monarch. Being a ruler is not something I ever particularly wanted. In a bid to avoid a fate trapped on a throne, I insist to the citizens that I will act as an interim monarch and gather a list of suitable rulers for them that they can vote on to take my place. We now come to the second part of my TBR. So the first 4 books I've already mentioned are the main 4 that I'm going to be reading in June. And I've added this extra bit on in case I get through them. I want to plan as much as possible in the hopes that I get round to it. The second part of my TBR, I'm starting on the monarch path, as we can tell by the story, and the first prompt for that is Queen Main Character. For this prompt, I have chosen to read Queen of Coins and Whispers by Helen Corcoran. This is an LGBTQ plus fantasy read. Again, I don't know very much about it other than it's brand new release for June, and it follows a queen and a woman that I'm assuming she falls in love with. I'm very excited to read this one. I do love a good high fantasy, as we can probably tell. I will also be reviewing this book on bookstack.com, the website that I'm the book reviews editor for. You can look forward to that coming towards the end of the month. The second prompt for the monarch path is royal colours, red, purple or gold. And for this one I've chosen to read Queen of the Dark Things by C. Robert Cargill. As I mentioned before, this is the sequel to Dreams and Shadows by C. Robert Cargill that I'll be reading earlier in the month, and is one that has honestly been on my TBR since I read Dreams and Shadows, and for some reason I just never bought it. So we're finally getting around to it, and we're getting deep back into traditional fantasy, and I'm so excited to read this book. I don't know what it's about, and I don't care. All I know is that it's the sequel to Dreams and Shadows, so I know I'm going to love it, and I will keep you updated on how that goes. With my list of suitable rulers ready, I put it to the citizens and asked them to vote on who they would like to rule them. After the vote, I stepped down with relief. I travel around the kingdom, freeing magical beasts and slaying demons, all in an attempt to protect the kingdom I have come to love. However, after a particularly nasty battle with a ferocious beast, I am poisoned by the scrape of its claws through my arm. I know I probably don't have much longer to live, but whilst I'm on my deathbed, my new beloved kingdom prays to the gods for me, to protect me and save me from the poison. The gods hear their prayers and smile upon me and decide to take me into the heavens above and make me a goddess. Safe at last from the terrors of the world, I can now spend eternity looking over my kingdom and providing support wherever necessary. As you can see, I have switched once again to another path. This time I have switched to the goddess path. The prompts that I have therefore switched across on is highest rated. For this prompt, you had to sort your Goodreads TBR in order of rating, and the highest rated is the one that you have to read. For me, the highest rated was Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. However, I haven't yet read Six of Crows, so I have chosen to read Six of Crows for my highest rated instead. It is only a couple more books down the list, so I think that's a valid swap to make. I have read the Grisha series many years ago now, and honestly don't really remember much of what happened. I'm going to try and read a recap before I read Six of Crows because I don't have the Grisha series to read again. However, I think I should be okay. If I read a recap, then I'm sure I'm sure it'll be fine. So I'm finally going to get back into the world of Leigh Bardugo, which I've been interested in doing for a while, and read Six of Crows and join the hype that I see around Bookstagram and online all the time. Again, don't really know what it's about. All I know is it's set in the Grisha world and follows Kaz Brecker, who I'm assuming is in the original series, but I do not remember him. So that's going to be interesting. The final prompt for Goddess then, and my final book of the TBR, you'll be pleased to know, is to randomise your TBR. I did this just with the physical TBR shelf I have behind me because I can't really afford to buy lots and lots of books at the moment. I kind of want to save that for later in the year when I have nothing left to read, which is going to be the case after this month. I stuck all the titles into a randomiser, and the one it picked out for me was Help the Witch by Tom Cox. I have read one Tom Cox novel before, The Good, the Bad and the Furry, which is about his cats. It's real, but it's also telling the lives of the cats from a humorous perspective. It was great. I loved the writing. I thought it was hilarious. And I love cats, so it was really the perfect read for me. Help the Witch is one of Tom Cox's more recent novels, and it is actually a short story collection. This is Tom's first fiction novel and delves into the world of countryside folklore, which is a topic of massive interest to me. It's going to be something that I think I'm going to focus my master's dissertation on, so I'm really excited to jumpstart my reading of folkloric tales. I'm imagining a very atmospheric read with this one. I'm really excited to get into it. It's got some amazing illustrations. I've had a quick flick through, but I haven't actually read any of it yet. I'm just really excited to get back into reading British Isles based folklore, which is something that I don't know very much about and would love to broaden my knowledge of. So that is my Make Your Myth Taker TBR. It's a pretty long one, it's pretty ambitious, but I've got an awful lot of free time at the moment, so I really think I should be able to power through this. I don't often make TBRs because I tend to just read whatever I'm in the mood for, but when I watched Ashleigh's video announcing the Make Your Myth Taker readathon, I was very interested by it and knew I just had to get involved. I'm really into myth, legend, folklore, fantasy, so I thought taking part in the Make Your Myth Taker readathon would be a great way for me to get a little bit more involved in that. I'm really excited for June. There's an awful lot of good books in there, and at the end of the month I will absolutely be doing a wrap up and letting you know how I got on. Did I manage to make it to the Goddess stage, or was I stuck halfway down the path because I ran out of time? I'll also let you know how I felt about each of the books, and we can have a good old chat if you've read any of them before or if you're reading them in the month as well. So make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more. I've got lots of exciting ideas to come, so I really hope that you will join me and watch my future videos. If you haven't seen my previous video, you can find the link down below. This was probably the most creative I've been in a while, so I really hope you like this video and give it a little like if you did, and don't forget to leave a comment below. I'm really excited to see how well I do with the readathon and whether I can make it to the Goddess stage or not, as the case may be. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope everybody's safe and I hope everybody is well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!